Welcome back to the weekly edition of the Top 10. These were the hottest selling cards in Magic the Gathering this week from August 31st to September 7th of 2024. Now in today's video we have to find out, will Bloomburrow stay on top or will it finally lose the domination it's held for a few weeks? Stick around because we're going to find out together. Another week has gone by and more sales have happened, and now we're going to talk about it. MTG Moxman here, thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today as we discuss the hottest selling cards in Magic. Now, if you're new to the channel, maybe you don't know, but you want to support me, all you gotta do is click my link on TCG Player. You'll find it in the description of this video. We get a kickback here on the channel for anything you buy on that platform. Now let's jump into the number 10 card. This is Innkeeper's Talent. It's been around for a while, but take a look at the actual sales numbers. Only 456 sales this week, totaling $9,120. This is a far cry from what we've seen the last couple of weeks, and it shows that the price tag of the card is starting to kind of peter out, but also the interest or the actual availability, whichever it may be in your area, is really starting to show. Does that mean this card is going to up, or is this card going to go down? Either way, the overall sales are down across the board for this card, but it barely made it into the top 10. But it's still here for a reason, because this card is going to be played for a long time. Remember that other cards coming along may re-energize the interest in this card, so if it continues to drop, you may want to take advantage of it at around the $14 to $15 mark. Now let's go ahead and jump over to the number 9 card this week, and again, we have a new card taken in, and this is Malevolent Rumble, and of course we're talking about Modern Horizons 3, Commander Horizons 3, you know what I'm talking about. This thing is only 26 cents, but it did see 609 sales this week. That's only $158.34. So what's going on with this card, and why would somebody want to utilize this sorcery? Now, again, it's 1 green, 1 generic. That's not bad already, but it's what it does in the text box that seems to attract some players. Taking a close look at the card, artwork, by the way, is pretty awesome on this one. It says, reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You may put a permanent card from among them into your hand. Put the rest into your graveyard and create a 0/1 colorless Eldrazi creature spawn token that says, sacrifice this creature to add to your mana pool. So really, you get a mana and you get a permanent card. And you got to look at 4 cards and cycle them through. This card actually offers a lot for the price tag, and I can see why somebody's taking advantage of it now at 26 cents. Goodbye. Now, for our next card, this is the Harbinger of Seas. Again, Modern Horizons 3. Do you notice how Modern Horizons 3 is back in the sales volumes and is starting to penetrate the domination of Bloomburrow? Now, 743 sales equal $2,972 because this card averages $4. Now, the idea, though, that we're seeing Bloomburrow cards start to get knocked off before Duskmourn comes out is actually pretty normal, everyone. It's the overall lower sales volumes we're seeing, which is a little more concerning. Again, beautiful artwork, Merfolk Wizard. Now, this card here says, non-basic lands are islands. That's insane. That is awesome. And again, 2 blue and a generic. This thing's pretty cheap to cast. It's still a 2/2 creature with a great static ability. Guys, an amazing card for a good price tag. I can see why people are starting to take advantage of it. Maybe they're just trying some new things out. Either way, the sales are being driven this way, and we're going to see more of this in the next couple of weeks. Now, our next card is one that I warn people about. So let's go ahead and take a look at, that's right, Urza's Cave is back from Modern Horizons 3. It's coming in at $2.10 this week. Now, that's a pretty cheap card considering this needs to be $10, $12. 970 sales, $2,037 in total sales volume. Now, I want to make note to let you guys know, 2 people in particular bought hundreds of copies of this card, okay? That's why it's on the list. I know some local stores that had like 120 copies. They all got bought out at $2 Canadian. So they're off the market, but that's where we're going with this card. People are noticing. Now, Urza's Cave. When you take a look at this one, it does say, add 1 colorless to your mana pool, but you can also sacrifice Urza's Cave, search your library for a land card, and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Land card. Don't forget that. And since there are cards that mimic these cards in the graveyard, there's like a double dose, and that's that card from the Lost Caverns of Ixalan, the Depths one that does the same thing. And that didn't make the list, but still had 120 sales, so it's still something to keep note of, okay? A great card, and it's at a very good attractive price right now for a lot of players. Somebody's speculating, by the way. Just a little side note there. Now, for our next card, We are jumping in and taking a look at the Witch Enchanter. And it says when the Witch Enchanter enters the battlefield, destroy one target enchantment or artifact an opponent controls. A nice ability if you need it, but if you need the mana, this has got the mana ability too. That's why this card's being bought. And at the price tag, I can see why. 1,125 sales, or $1,912.50 of total sales volume. This card takes the number 6 position. Again, it's a Modern Horizons 3 card, and the fact this thing can come in as a land if you need it, or as the creature, which will destroy an artifact or an enchantment, means these versatility cards play a real spectrum of strategies that players are using when they're building with them. It looks like nothing at first, but when you realize the killing combos these things create, it's a buy. Now for our next card, we're taking a look at the Shifting Woodland. Again, this card is $4.97 this week, 1,192 sales, and yes, it's back from Modern Horizons 3. As you can see, people are taking an interest in these low-value cards that offer a lot of power level for what they can give you. It's still $5,924.24 of total sales volume, but this card, not to mention the great artwork, but there's a little bit more going on with this card that players need to pay attention to, and that's because of the Delirium ability on the card. So let's take a closer look here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this is a land card. And as we go down, you can see the land. It says, Shifting Woodland enters the battlefield tapped unless you control forest. That's still not bad. Delirium, pay 2 and 2 green. Shifting Woodland becomes a copy of target permanent card from your graveyard until end of turn. Activate only if there are 4 more card types among cards in your graveyard. And that's insane. You guys know it is, and it's cheap to buy. Love it. Now, our next card is Consign to Memory. We're back still in Modern Horizons 3. You can't help it. They're dominating the market, and here we are at the number 4 position with 1,333 sales, which is $8,104.64. We've talked about this card numerous times because the uncommons that used to be 50 cents are no longer 50 cents. The way Wizards of the Coast has done track printing, the value of these cards is rising, and it's something players need to pay attention to in case of reprint equity in future sets. Now, Consign to Memory is a 1 blue instant that says Replicate 1. Okay, when you cast a spell, copy it for each time you paid its replicate cost. And it says counter target triggered ability or colorless spell. There's a lot going on with this card. Just like we just saw with the Witch, you get the same thing. That versatility that just makes this card worth owning. Even at $6, it seems like a bargain. It seems like this would almost be a mythic. But nope, they made it an uncommon. Let's go ahead to our next card. Guys, we are taking a look at Sink into Stupor. Again, Modern Horizons 3. Now, 1,582 sales, that's $8,400.42. An average price of $5.31. Again, it's an uncommon. Don't neglect this. Pay attention to it, guys. These things will get reprinted. They are adding value to the players. They're adding value to the stores and Wizards' pocketbook. Everyone wins right now with cards like this. It's amazing. But let's not forget that new boxes are also not being opened. Modern Horizons 3 is expensive. New product is not entering the market space, just random packs. And whatever's out there now for inventory is pretty much how it's going to be, okay? So don't think players are going to arbitrage this stuff. It's not going to happen. Now, let's not forget this card is an instant uncommon that says return target, spell, or non-land permanent to its owner's hand. And that's amazing, but it also can be a land card if you pay the 3 life, just like we saw earlier. All right, guys. Caretaker's Talent, $11.59. And this thing is holding on to the number 2 position with 1,820 sales. That's $21,093.80 of total sales volume. Caretaker's Talent is just running rampant across what we've seen in Standard right now. It fits into many decks, and for good reason. All these token creations, but also artifacts that link with it, like the Forge. This thing's a great card. It's going to see strong sales for months to come, especially if the price dips a bit, where players have been waiting for this card to drop. Guys, don't look down on cards like this. It's a rare, but it's going to hold value, and that's a good thing for a lot of people out there who open Bloomburrow boxes. But again, Duskmorn is coming. Get ready for it. You're probably going to see these things drop a little bit as players' money shifts over to new products. If you're looking for a deal, look about 60 days from now. You might just find the bargain you're looking for. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the number 1 card this week, and it's still from Bloomburrow, and that is the Patchwork banner at number 1. This card is an average price of $3.50. It had 2,412 sales this week, which is $8,442. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I was talking about this card being readily available from multiple stores, and players were saying, depending on the area, Moxman, it can be hard to find. Yes, The stock is drying up. It is getting harder to find. Several stores I know are now sold out. They don't have any in, and the wish lists for this card have started to grow. Now, the Patchwork Banner is a 3 casting cost artifact that says when it comes in, choose a creature type. Creatures of the chosen type get +1/+1. Nightmare creatures from Duskmourn. And it can add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Guys, be wary of this card. It's going to see strong sales, and you're going to see players after it just when Duskmourn comes out, okay? This thing should not be sold on a dime. If you have extra copies, you want to make some money, hang in there. I think this card's going to pay off for you. Now, let's get to the wrap-up here. So there you have your top 10. There's a lot of people who are pretty bullish on the Bloomburrow cards dropping in price, where they believe these cards, after Duskmourn comes out, will drop a lot. And that may be true for some of the cards, but things like Patchwork Banner, Caretaker's Talent, Innkeeper's Talent, those are not cards you should expect to have drop in price. There may be a slow winding price drop of 50 cents here, 20 cents there, but let's not forget that the money moves on and there's no new supply coming to market. People aren't cracking boxes like they used to. Always remember that now. So these cards are holding value longer than they used to. And with new available synergies being found, Commander players jump into the same prize pool of cards, and we see an uptick in prices. Now, for other cards in older sets, cards we're expecting to see reprints for, these higher value target cards, it can be anything from Orcish Bowmaster, the One Ring, Mox, Amber, whatever your poison may be, whatever card you're hoping will get a reprint, probably will somewhere in 2025, 2026, at least for some of the cards we're talking about, just to bring those prices down a little bit, because a lot of these cards are still drifting upwards, and that kind of pressure on the market means Wizards can make a lot of money by reprinting, and they will put some of these cards in there. So you just have to hang in there, wait, and see what comes up, because a lot of these cards will have a glass ceiling that they can't get past, okay? Because they're not reserve list cards, and we know that reprint will come. That keeps the fear factor glass ceiling in place and allows these cards to be reprinted, the prices to stay still, and then eventually drop when the reprint comes. Guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. Oh, and by the way, before we go, reminder, even though it gets a reprint, it's usually reprinted only in a premium product, and it still isn't nearly as available as you think. So you got to take advantage of those price drops to get the card, to enjoy it for a longer period of time, because they have changed up how they do their print runs, and these premium products don't put out nearly as many cards as they used to, okay? Anyway, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for being here on the channel. A reminder, if you enjoyed today's content, don't forget, like and subscribe to the channel. We're somewhere around 145 subscribers away from hitting 24,000. And that means after that, we're only 1,000 subscribers away from getting to the halfway point. We'll be at 25K. Epic. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We have the reserve list top 10 and the live stream 6:30 Eastern Standard Time, where we will see if the Moxman's internet provider fails him and makes him move to a new provider, or will it stand the test and be able to give me a solid live stream like they say they can now. We'll find out. See you then. Have a great day. All right, you're here at the end of the video. You're watching all these cool names go by. Well, these are the patrons of the channel. Because of their support, daily uploaded content gets put out to YouTube every single day. It's because of that loyal patronage I see each and every month that allows for this content to be created. So thanks again to my YouTube membership members and, of course, the patrons on Patreon. Without them, this wouldn't be happening. I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Have a great day. Welcome back, everyone. You've made it to the end of the video. I have no drink, no coffee, nothing, because I'm filming this really late at night. The computers took forever to do the counts, but we got the numbers. I got the info, and this was your top 10. But now we get to see the reserve. Wait! Welcome back to the Ramble Jamble. Ramble in the Jamble! Guys, glad you made it out. Awesome day. Great Magic sales going on. And we will talk about Duskmourn on Monday when I get my final info. But I'll tell you right now, the results are going to be a little bit shocking for a lot of people. We'll talk about that. Guys, have a great one. Enjoy the day. Thanks for stopping by. You made it to the Yellow Brick Road. You made it to the end. And unfortunately, there's nothing crazy to talk about today. Or is there? I'll see you guys in the live stream. Ah!